Hello students, this is Neha Mathur and today I will let you know about flip-flops. Flip-flop basically comes under the category of sequential circuits, which is an important category of digital circuits. Digital circuits is itself categorized into two categories, combinational circuits and sequential circuits. So flip-flop is a basic element of sequential circuit. So today we will start with flip-flops. But before starting the video, consider to subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get updated for the upcoming videos. Fine. So back to flip-flop. As I told you that flip-flop comes under the category of sequential circuits and it is basically used to store a single bit of data. That single bit may be 0 or 1. So you can define flip-flop as that flip-flop has two stable states. State 1 is represented as one state, or you can say state 1, while the second state is 0 state or state 0. So whenever a circuit store single bit data in the form of 1, then this comes under this category, while when this flip-flop will store 0 as a single bit in its circuit, then that type of classification comes under this category. So you can easily define flip-flop that flip-flop is nothing but 1 bit memory cell. I am again repeating that flip-flop is 1 bit memory cell which is basically used to store, that's why memory cell, which is basically used to store 1 bit of data, and that 1 bit may be 1 as well as 0. And just because of this definition of flip-flop, you can easily clarify this, that the flip-flop will have its two states, state 1 and state 0. Fine. So this is the general definition of flip-flop. Now what about the circuit diagram of the flip-flop? The circuit diagram of the flip-flop can be implemented using NAND gate as well as NOR gate. NAND and NOR both comes under the category of universal gate. So you can use NAND gate as well as NOR for the designing of flip-flop. Here I am taking NAND gate to implement or to design a 1 bit memory cell which is flip-flop. So its circuit is very simple. Having two NAND gates, you can implement your 1 bit memory cell. I am mentioning here 1 bit memory cell, and see, I am using two NAND gates, G1 and G2, two NAND gates, and the structure looks like, see, this is the cross coupled structure. What is the meaning of cross coupling? Here, see, first thing is you are using two NAND gates working as an inverter with one single input. For the G1 input is A1, while for the G2 input is A2. Now the thing is, this structure is said to be cross coupled structure, and the meaning of the cross coupling is the output of the first gate is connected with the input of second gate. Similarly, the output of second gate is connected with the input of first gate. This kind of structure comes under the category of cross coupling, or the connection looks like this, in which output of first gate is connected with the input of second and the output of second gate is connected with the input of first. Such type category or such type structure is said to be cross coupling structure. So you can say that here cross coupling or cross coupled inverters as a memory cell. You are using cross coupled inverters in the form of NAND gate using as a memory cell. Now what about its working, how it actually works? So see, I am again drawing the structure here in just small part of the board so that I can mention operations also here. See, this one gate G1, this gate is G2, gate 1 and gate 2 having its input A1 and A2, while outputs is denoted by Q and Q bar. Fine. Now what about its operation, or you can say working? The working can be itself divided into two cases, case 1 and case 2. It will be easy to understand if I am taking this in the form of cases. What is the case 1? According to case 1, see, you will have to assume the outputs of this circuit so that you can analyze the proper working of the condition of the circuit. In the case first, I am considering Q is equals to 1. That means this one is 1, or you can say that the output of G1. I am taking the output of G1 as a 1. Now this one is working as an input of G2. That means because of this assumption A2 will be 1 because Q is directly connected with G2. So now the input for the G2 will be 1. Since this is working as an inverter, then the output of the G2 will be 0 because of inverter of applied input. Since the applied input is 1 and the complement of the 1 will be 0, so Q bar will be 0. Now this Q bar, which is itself an input for the G1, Q bar which is itself an input of G1, that means now your A1 is equals to 1, A1 is equals to 0, which is applied at G1, and G1 also showing the property of the inverter because it is also working as an inverter. Then this inverter will invert the applied input and Q will be 0 complement, that means 1. So initially you are assuming Q is equals to 1, and with this assumption when you are analyzing the circuit you are again getting your Q is equals to 1. This is justified in this case, while in case 2 assume Q is equals to 0, or I am taking as assumption that Q is equals to 0. Now see, Q which is the input of G2, that means now your A2 is equals to 0, G2 which is an inverter will invert this applied input, and your Q bar will be complement of your input, that means 0's complement, that means 1. Now Q bar which is a output of G2, and G2 is working as an inverter with input A2. So A2 which is itself 0 and the complement of 0 will be 1. So now Q bar is equals to 0, which is again is working as the input of G1. So now A1 is equals to 1 from here. Then what about the Q? Q will be the output of G1. So complement of your A1, and A1 is 1, so it will be 0. So again I am repeating that initially you are considering Q is equals to 0, and once with the step by step analyzing of the circuit you are getting your Q is equals to 0. So you can easily define that flip-flop has two stable states, state 1 and state 0. Now with the working of these two cases, or with the explanation of these two cases, you can analyze or you can draw some conclusion over here. The first conclusion is that your Q and Q bar is always complementary to each other. Similarly, your Q which is 0 and Q bar which is 1, both are complementary to each other. From both the cases you can analyze that Q and Q bar, that means the output of both the gates are treated as complementary to each other. This is the reason that I am denoting the output of the circuit as Q and Q bar, because both will be complementary to each other. So if Q is equals to 1, your Q bar will be 0. Similarly, when q is equals to 0, your q bar will be 1. So the first conclusion you are getting from the working of the circuit is that your q and q bar will be complement to each other. Now the second thing is that the flip-flop is itself denoting its two stable states. State 1 when q is equals to 1, and after the working of the circuit you are again getting q is equals to 1. Similarly, the state second, that is 0 state, q is equals to 0, and you are again at the end of the working you are getting q is equals to 0. That means here we have two stable states, state 0 and state 1. Now the third and most important conclusion we are getting over here is that if you are assuming q is equals to 1, that then at the ending of the working of the circuit you are getting your q is equals to 1. That means this circuit of flip-flop will hold its own state until unless next assumption is not taking place. I am again repeating that if you are assuming q is equals to 1, then the circuit will hold 1 at the end of the working. Similarly, if you are assuming q is equals to 0, it will hold q is equals to 0 at the end of the working. That means this circuit is capable to lock or latch a single bit of information. I am again repeating that this small circuit is capable to store, or you can say lock, or you can say latch a single bit of data. That means if initially it is assuming or initially it is working with q is equals to 0, then the circuit will hold q is equals to 0 at the end of the working of the circuit. That means this is capable to store 0 in its memory cell. Similarly, if q is equals to 1, that means at the end of the working it is capable to store 1 in its memory cell. This is the reason that flip-flop is also known as a latch, because it is capable to lock a single bit of data, and that bit may be 0 or 1. But this is the simple working of the flip-flop, but the most important issue, or you can consider that the drawback with this small circuit is, see, you cannot predict what will be the output at the end of the circuit. There is no possibility to predict, or there is no possibility to get the output at user's own desired information. If users want to store 1 bit of data, 1 as a bit to store or 0 as a bit to store, then there is no possibility to give the desired information from input end so that it can be stored in the circuit, because the input is not in user's control, or you can say that the input of the circuit is not in our control, so that we can apply the input at our own choice. So there is no possibility to store the desired information from the output end. This is the reason that this circuit we cannot predict what will be the output. Suppose if as the power is switched on, there is no possibility to predict what will be the output. As we are going to switch on, the output depends on the previous state, or you can say that the circuit will switch on with the previously pending values. So there is no possibility to predict the output. This is the reason that this small circuit is not capable to work at a higher level to store a single bit, because of this most important issue, not getting desired information at its output. So there is a little bit changes, or you can say there is you can say that there is some modified circuit in which you can overcome all the issues coming from this small circuit. So the modified circuit it itself categorized, or it is itself explained in the form of types of flip-flops. There are several types of flip-flops in which modified circuit is introduced, which will overcome this issue coming from this small circuit. So on the basis of this, flip-flop or 1 bit memory cell or latch is categorized into 4 category. The first flip-flop is SR flip-flop. The flip-flop, I am again repeating, the flip-flop is categorized into 4 category, or you can say it has 4 types. The first flip-flop is SR flip-flop. SR. The second type is JK flip-flop. The third type is D flip-flop. And the fourth category is T flip-flop. So these are the classification of flip-flops dividing into 4 category, and we'll start with SR flip-flops, in which it will overcome the issue of 1-bit memory cell which was designed with the help of 2 NAND gate. So now we'll deal one by one with all the categories of flip-flop. So hope students you are following the content of flip-flop, and if you are following, consider to subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get updated for the upcoming videos. Thank you.